I remember the call. It was a Thursday night, March 19th, I think. I was stopping by Meijer for a couple of things, checking to see if they had some toilet paper. My dad was calling because the 4 dioceses in Michigan were closing their churches immediately. Our call came the following morning. All that planning the previous week to help destigmatize communion was out the window now. Only a skeleton crew joined us for our last service in the building. What followed was about 55 straight weeks of asking ourselves a simple question. What should we do? It's a simple question, after all, but a pernicious and devious one. It's one that assumes a right answer. Should is not open-ended. It doesn't assume difference of or encourages diverse conclusions. It assumes there is only one. What should we do? It appeals like to a teacher, a rabbi, or a leader, someone who knows, someone other than us. They will know what we should do. It also assumes certainty, that there exists out in the sequence of time and space a firm hierarchy of action that corresponds to this moment. What should we do? Well, let me consult the org chart. The problem with what should we do is plain, but not all of it is obvious. What should we be doing? Shouldn't we be better? Shouldn't we be doing more? Much like my favorite, shouldn't we have come up with the perfect sourdough starter? How many of us have seen that meme suggesting that if we didn't come out of the pandemic with a new skill, we didn't try hard enough? Yeah, okay. This thinking has been everywhere. Shouldn't we be gathering a certain way? What technology is the right one that we should be using? I'm reminded of when Jesus is trying to share with his disciples that they are heading to Jerusalem, and at the end of this journey, there is going to be this thing that happens. Jesus is going to die. And guess what they're doing? They're arguing over which of them is the greatest disciple. They're all saying this to each other, versions of, I'm the one really killing it out there, doing more of the stuff I should be doing. Should, right, best. It's all pressure, subjective pressure on each of us. When you're talking about a community that has experienced pain, what is should in this moment? Maybe we should be dealing with hope or building each other up. Maybe we should be wrestling with the hard decisions we've all had to make, or the loss we have all experienced. Perhaps for us, it wasn't a very holy week. And it wasn't just a Lent, it was a year. And even when we confront that sensation, we get sucked into evaluating and judging. Who is best? What is right? Rewatching Frozen 2 this past week, I was confronted with this again in the movie's theme, the next right thing. Anna is able to move forward by shrinking the weight of all the things in her future, all the things that are going on in her world right then, and what is in front of her, bringing it all down to just that, what is in front of her now. And yet, even that phrasing, the next right thing, implies a certainty, the next right thing. That's a lot of pressure on us to get it right every time. But none of it comes from God. That's the thing, none of it. Jesus didn't leave his followers a literal rule book full of shoulds, rights, and bests. It's nonsense. It's kind of like that scene in Elf when Buddy runs into the coffee shop because there's a sign in the window that says New York's best coffee. And he shouts, "You did it!" Right? What are we thinking? Should, right, best is insane. So, what is it then? What is it to step into this next thing? This moment, to take and let go of the should so we can see what is really there. We'd see the hierarchy of should doesn't do what it claims to do. It doesn't create the generosity and faithfulness and love evoked in Jesus' teaching. It constructs a paradigm of power, prestige, and pressure to perform perfectly. Shouldn't doesn't match the gospel of love. It doesn't match the vision offered in the resurrection. In fact, should is what prevents Mary from understanding what she's seeing. Until Jesus says her name, she can't even recognize him. Her vision of what she is supposed to see prevents her from seeing. Mary should see a closed tomb. She should know that Jesus is in there, dead. Nothing here fits the should she arrives with. The resurrection shouldn't, but it is. What should be there, what we think is supposed to be there, this is always really just about us. Instead, God surprises us with something else, something off the wall or from out in left field. Or let's call it what it is today, something from out of an empty tomb. Right? If we say it more often, people will catch on. For us, the resurrection frees us from should. Because death isn't final, and our mistakes aren't forever. We are witnesses to the power of change and transformation. This doesn't mean we don't take responsibility for our behavior, that there aren't things God has commanded us to do. But Easter is the way we are called to wipe those slates clean, forgive the repentant, and face a new world together with new friends. We're addicted to the evaluation, but today we need to let it go. We are called to emerge from this time, this place, this prison, this place of death, into freedom and life through hope, faith, and love. This is the resurrection, our new birth, our time of new life, and a wide open future.